Hi, welcome back to Networks and Security. We're actually starting labs from home now, so please stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, a quick overview on what we're actually trying to get accomplished. Many of you may not have systems that you can scan at your home or wherever you might be at this time. So I've opened up remote 00 through remote 05, no, remote 04. We have 5 systems, yes, so that you can log into them remotely. Now, the information on how to log into that is going to be in the lab, so please check Telegram for your lab, and it's also in the YouTube video. However, for somewhat obvious reasons, I'm not putting the username and password in our YouTube video for remote access. It is in your lab in Telegram. So if you have any problems accessing the vault, opening up the ports, then please go ahead and check your lab inside of Telegram. Now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to assume that you're connecting to their lab remotely. So we're going to connect to remote. We'll go to the 0. Where's my keyword? We'll go SSH student at remote 02.cybernados.net. Okay, there. I've logged in. If it asks you for a password, then the password is password. There. Yeah. So that's your password. If it asks you for a password, really easy. That's made for you to get in so that you can do these labs in a safe environment that's remote. Okay, now that we're in, let's go ahead and create a directory for ourselves. So you have, well, you know what? Don't even worry about creating the directory for yourself at this point. Everything that you do for submission is going to be a screenshot. So in the future, for the actual final exam or the labs in the future, you may need a directory. We'll see. But in this case, you're going to need just 3 or 4 screenshots. So not a big, overwhelming deal this time, but we'll just continue on with this. So let's go ahead and get started with Nmap. Today we're going to look at network mapping. So how do you map a network? What is network mapping? Well, now we're on this system. You can see that we're on this 10.10.10.102 system. It'd be nice to know what else is out there. What else is on the network? What network are we on? Those kind of things. So I know that this is a 10.10.10 network, but I also know there are a couple of other networks out there, and one of them is the 10.10.50 network. So I'm going to do at first a ping scan. So if you look over in the lab, you'll see that this is a part 1 Icmp, and we're going to find host using Icmp on the network. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do an nmap -s, that's scan type, capital P, which stands for ping or Icmp, -n, that means don't resolve names. So if we're scanning an IP range, don't look for names like www.cybernados.net. Just scan IPs. And then we're going to do a range. We'll do 10.10.10.0/24. All right. So when we do this, we're telling the system to go through and scan this network. Now, for your screenshot, this is important for you. You'll need to screenshot this portion. So I'll give an example of that. So up here, I'll grab this right here, and you'll need to go take a screenshot like that. Oops. And you'll need to capture the timestamp on it. Let me cancel that. So screenshot, and you'll need to get this timestamp right here. And then you'll get this save a screenshot dialog like that. And you'll need to upload that to Canvas for me. So that's what I need. Whenever I say upload a screenshot, please get your command and upload that screenshot. Now this specific command, yeah, this is not exactly what you need right here. The next one's going to be exactly what you should upload. So let's go ahead and do that one. Okay, I know that there's another network over here. And now I could do this first octet. We know that's the first octet is just a private network. The next octet is just a 10. That's where we are, right? The last octet, this third octet, not last, the last network octet, this 10, I know that I've got some other networks out here. Specifically, I know that I've got a .50 network out here. Nmap allows you to select additional networks inside here, much like a regular expression. In this case, it's just comma separated. So in this case, I'm going to scan 10.10.10.0/24, and I'm scanning 10.10.50/24. So I'm able to scan 2 networks at the same time. This is where you should get your screenshot. So we press enter. Once this information comes back, go ahead and scroll up and grab a screenshot of this portion right there. If you can't figure out how to do a screenshot, there are a lot of resources online for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And if you're using Linux Mint, which works with, well, everything, you'll just hit Shift Print Screen, and that lets you get your print your screenshot. If you're on a Mac, then it's like, I don't know, Control the number 4F or something like that, and then that lets you paste your screenshot. Windows does screenshots too. All right, but feel free to Google how to do a screenshot if you don't know how to do a screenshot. And don't tell anybody that you don't know how to do a screenshot and you're in computer science. All right, let's keep moving. So now we've done this scan, and this is an Nmap scan. We can see we have 34 hosts out there that are potential victims. Kind of neat. Well, let's go ahead and look at those victims in a little more depth. So let me bring this out of the way. I'm going to try to get that out of the way there. And we're going to find some services. Now, the 10.10.50 and the 10.10.10 network, that's going to work for us for quite some time. Instead of a scan type ping, I'm going to remove the scan type altogether. By removing the scan type, it's actually going to go to the default scan type, which is a SYN connect. You remember that SYN, SYNAC, ACK, that whole thing, or SYN, ACK, that thing? Well, in this case, if I leave off the -SP, capital P, remember it's case sensitive, then it's going to go through and do a SYN connect scan. That means it's actually going to try to establish the first part of that three-way handshake. And that means, well, that service is up if it can connect that way. So the -N, I still want the -N. I do not want to resolve names. I still want the same network. But in this case, I'm going to look for a specific port. If you remember, and I don't have to put a space there. You can if you want to. You don't have to. I'm going to look for port 80. What's port 80? Now, if you remember from our classes in class, port 80 was HTTP. That's right. It's HTTP, the unsecure method. And well, while we're here, what's the secure one? It is 443. So there we got the Nmap. Don't resolve names. Look at port 80 and 443 and look on both networks. Let's press enter. Now, as this runs through, we can see that we've got a bunch of hosts out there. This would be your next screenshot right here. So you would capture that information right there. I don't need all the information. I just need the top portion. The top portion of the capture there is really all I need. And so if you want to do it all, then go back and get your screenshots. You can totally do that. It will stay in your buffer, so you can always go back and get it. If you're worried that it may not be, then go ahead and do a screenshot. Remember, I need your session time, so don't miss your session time, and just the first few lines. So if you grab it like that, what I'll do is I'll just save the screenshot right now. Yeah, sure. We'll save it to pictures. Save. Done. And then I'll go down and I'll grab another screenshot. And that's the bottom of the line. I'll go back up. And this is the portion I need. So grab that. Go back up to the session line. And save the screenshot. Now I'm going through the screenshots pretty verbose in this case, and that's because this is the first time that we've done a lab online together. So I'm trying to give you a lot of input. For those of you who are going like, yes, I know how to take a screenshot. Well, there you go. Now you know more about screenshots than you ever wanted to. Now let's go ahead. We've looked for ports, and then this exercise. What are we looking for when we look at this? Well, we're looking at web ports. We see a bunch of servers. We have some that have HTTPS open, but most of them have HTTP open. Interesting. In fact, we can go through and we can grep. We can pipe this to grep and look for HTTPS and look for, let's say, not only HTTPS, but we'll also want to look for a name. So let's say a report. We'll look for those two aspects. And then when we scan, it'll look for the words HTTPS and the word report, and it'll print it to our line. So that way we can see that, okay, 10.10.10.1 has HTTPS open, and 10.10.50.1 has HTTPS open. And those are the only hosts that have HTTPS, or Secure Hypertext Transfer Protocol, open. Well, both of those are firewall systems, so we won't be scanning those or trying to get into those. That's one interface on our firewall, and that's another interface on our firewall. Let's look for a few more services. Okay, and I'm just arrowing up, just pressing the up arrow to get to my prior commands. So don't beat yourself up on how to get around to these commands. Let's look for FTP. If you know the FTP port, go ahead and type it right now. If you don't, then you should. Let's go ahead and do port 21. So where we go, nmap-n, port 21, that 10, 10, 10, and 50, we're going to look for systems running FTP. Great. Now we can see that we have several systems running FTP, and they are all on the 10.10.50 network. That's primarily the network that we're going to be scanning in the future, just by the way. All right, so we have that 10.10.50 network. We have FTP. Interesting. Well, let's say I go through and I want to check more than 21. I want to check 3389. So I'm going to do those two ports. Now it's going to be if it has FTP or 3389, not and. So over here we see we've got one here that has FTP. We have another one that has 3389. If you remember what 3389 is, that's the remote desktop protocol. So pretty cool to find that on the network. And we've got these ports right there. Well, let's go ahead and look for one more thing. And that's going to be port 445. So let's scan this now. Enter. We're scanning both networks for this 21, 3389, and 445. We can see we got 445 running there. We have 445 running here. That looks like a good system. Let's find a memorable system. None of these IPs are really memorable. 150 is pretty good, but there's not 3389. Interesting. Okay, now, in this case, that is actually this portion right here where you see this. This is actually your second screenshot. The first screenshot is the ping, and this is your second screenshot. So you'll just go on the page there, shift print screen if you're using Linux. If you're using Linux Mint, other systems don't have it. Go ahead and grab that, copy it, and save it. Then you'll upload that to Canvas. Do not forget to upload your screenshots to Canvas. All of my assignments roll out Sunday at 6 p.m. and then they're due Saturday by midnight. Please don't wait till Saturday to do your assignments. Saturday is an emergency day. So try to get your assignments done Monday through Friday. I give you as much flexibility as possible because I want you to be successful in working in a very convoluted online environment where you're getting assignments from all directions. All my assignments come out on YouTube, Canvas, and Telegram simultaneously on Sunday night, Monday morning. All right, so let's go through. You don't have to worry about mine coming out during the week. That's my point. Okay, so we've got that screenshot. The last screenshot we're going to do is where we're actually going to examine a single host. We're going to look at the operating system on a host. To do our single host, we're going to use the Nmap-O option. So let's go ahead and try it as our user object and see what happens. So in this case, we'll do it Nmap-N-O, that's not a zero, oops, capital O, and 10.10.50.100. I'll just do that one. 200 like that. That doesn't exist. Let's not do that one. 50.150. There we go. There's a host right there. 5150. And press enter. Now, when I typed that, I said, let's see what happens. And that's because right here, it says TCP/IP fingerprinting for an OS scan requires root privileges. What do you do if you receive something that says you don't have permissions or it requires root privileges? That's right. You'll sudo it. So let's go through and sudo that command and press enter. Now it's going to give us information. Now you may have seen that I used grep earlier. So when we were looking through that, I actually used grep because this is a lot of information right there. And I really just want running is what I'm looking for. So that running or OS, I can grab both of those. Let's look at that. So the way I'm going to do this is pipe that to grep. Remember the options where you do the quote, and we're going to look for running, and we're going to look for capital OS, like that. Now, when I press enter, it's just going to give me, oops, it's just going to give me the OS right there. And I forgot that we also need the very, very top line where we have that report. Sorry, because we'll be doing this on more than one host. Report. I think that's all lowercase, actually, report. Yeah, it's all lowercase. Report. Pipe. Running pipe OS. Now, quick clarification. This pipe is a pipeline. So this is a Unix pipeline character. We're taking the output of this command, so the output from this command, and we're putting it into this command. These pipes are not pipelines. This is a kind of like a logical OR. This is saying report, or if you see running, or if you see OS. Okay, so that's what we're looking for there. Press enter, and now it comes back with this information. So the OS there, we can see that this is 10.10.50.150. It's running Linux. We can see this Linux curl 2.6, 2.6.15. This and it says OS detection performed. Please report any incorrect results. I don't need that last line, but I really don't care. All right, so over here, this 10.10.50, now I'm going to expand it a little bit. I saw that everything was over 100. So I'm going to do 100 through 200 on my Nmap scan. So again, we're doing a sudo Nmap, network map, don't resolve names, OS fingerprinting, that's operating system fingerprinting. This network range, so 10.10.50, 100 through 200. Remember earlier we were doing both the 10.10.10 network and the 10.10.50 network. Now we've switched to just the 10.10.50 network. And then the grep report running OS. I will have these screenshots in Canvas for you. So the screenshots are actually in Canvas. You can look at my screenshots and then make your screenshots based off what mine look like. So don't worry, there's no confusion as to what you should get. I'm actually giving you the correct command and the screenshot inside of Canvas so that you can see it. All right, so let's go ahead and press enter. When this runs through, it's going to give us, remember, that report, which is going to have some things that will have a lot of information, and some things will have less information. Now, this can take a while, and that's one of the disadvantages to running an OS scan, as you may be sitting here for the next 10 minutes waiting for your scan to come back. That's why originally I ran it against the single host right there. Now, if you notice, the single host, even that alone, took 30 seconds to run. So it can take a little bit of time. We'll just have to wait. Now, while you wait, go ahead and log into Canvas. Go ahead and get all your screenshots ready and go ahead and do your submission. If this does turn out to take a little too long, which we can cancel it at any point in time. If you want to see how long it's taking, you press spacebar. Oops. Yeah, Nmap is ignoring me. You can press spacebar during the activity. It'll tell you what percentage it is done. In this case, I'm going to hit Control C. That may just take a little too long. One thing I just thought about is we've got several people on these systems right now, and if I have several of you log in and run this scan, that may be a bad thing. So let's just do a couple of computers. The two computers I want us to scan will be 10.10.50.150, and we will do 10.10.50.122. So what we're going to do that is 10.10.50.122 and 150. This is now your new screenshot because I did not think about that one taking too long with all the people logged in at the same time. Sorry about that. This is your final screenshot. So remember, look on Canvas. You'll see the 3 screenshots with the commands, and go ahead and run those. I'm going to run that right there. After that runs, I'll go ahead and do the screenshot. I'll post it on Canvas. And please remember, get your assignments done Monday through Friday. All of my assignments come out Monday, well, Sunday night at 6 p.m. But they all come out Monday so that you don't have to worry about me contacting you during the week for additional assignments. All of my stuff is established on Monday for that week, and please get it turned in by Saturday. Try to get it done by Friday. Saturday is an emergency day, and no, don't expect people to help you on Saturdays when you might be late. I hope that this video is helpful, and I look forward to seeing your responses and communication in class.